Alright, hello there. I'm here on an odd day because it's my birthday tomorrow. So for a special occasion, I'm playing Pokemon Pinball game. Now, the original Pokemon Pinball on Game Boy Color is one of my absolute favorites. I played it a heck of a lot on my Game Boy Color, my Pikachu edition Game Boy Color, when I was a child. But despite being so having so much playtime logged on the original Pokemon Pinball, and despite Jupiter being one of my favorite developers because of their work on Picross, among other things, I've never bothered to touch the sequel. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a retrospective here and finally catch up on Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. So if you're a Gen 3 fan, start button is not working. Okay, cool, here we go. First of all, let's check the controls, because this is important. I like to set, and you can freely customize them, which is really nice. It's a good feature. Left flipper being the left direction button, and then right flipper being A. Makes a lot of sense to me, because you've got both your hands moving then. And we've got tilt, but maybe we can edit. Oh, wait, what's this? Okay, freely edit. Left flipper, that one, right flipper A, tilt left and tilt right. Well, shoulders make sense for that, don't they? Didn't have them on the Game Boy Color. And B for tilt up. There's a trick you can do. I might be able to pull it off at some point, but you can save your ball if it's falling down by tilting in it at a specific time. And I don't have a rumble pack. I guess it was integrated in the GBA cartridge, right? It would have had to have been. The Game Boy Color version did have a rumble pack integrated into it and used a AAA battery. Alright, let's get started. Oh yeah, first choice. I played a lot of the blue field in the original because I liked the setup with the rotating arrow that shot your ball off in different directions, because you didn't have to pull off as many skill shots to get the specific things you needed. Normal and slow. No fast, unfortunately. Normal will be fine. Yeah. Oh, this is very different, isn't it? Okay. Never played this before. Let's go. Okay, so straight off the bat, I can see... Oh wow, there's a Pokemon mod up there. I can see that instead of... Whoops. See, that's what I was talking about, saving your ball if it's rolling down there. Yeah, if you time it right, but I didn't quite time it right. Yeah, the first thing you notice if you've played Pokemon Pinball on the Game Boy Color is that game used a flip screen technique. There were two sort of parts of the field, the top and the bottom, right? Because the systems we're using can't really simulate the shape of a full pinball table. But yeah, it was like a bottom screen and a top screen, and it would swap between them as you... Yeah, I've got the ball saver active for now, so these aren't costing me anything, but it's going to run out soon. But that's okay. I also have emulator rewind, so my goal today is to see as many of the bonus screens as I can, or the bonus maps, you know. That was it! I did it! And all it took was a bit of cheating rewind. Yeah, my goal is to see the bonus zones, or whatever they are. As many of them as I can. I'm not going to fill my Pokedex today, which is really the ultimate goal of these games. I never did that even, despite how much I played the original, because it requires a lot of conditions to be met. You can see in the middle we're in a forest. I forget the name of the forest. I did play Ruby for a little bit. I didn't complete it because our car was carjacked and all our games were stolen. So I lost access to that, but I have also played Omega Ruby, but that doesn't mean I remember the names of the locations. Anyway, We're in a forest, but there's a mechanic in this game where you can move locations by hitting certain targets around the field. And each location has a different set of Pokemon to catch. And we're in catch mode right now. And to uncover the picture, so we're running out of time rapidly, but to uncover the picture we need to hit the Chimchu targets up there. There you go. Hit it twice, hit it 3 times, got 3. Looks like a Cascoon. We might be able to run up that loop as well to activate this a bit, since it's flashing. I have no idea what some of the new mechanics are. I know the basic mechanics, which seem to be unchanged. The loop of activating things to then go into catch mode. There's an evolve mode as well. You can see I've upgraded my ball by hitting some of the targets up the top. Now here's a trick. If we shoot this off and then tilt at the right time, it can fall down into one of those top things and get a shortcut up there. Didn't pull it off there. Yeah, so those 3 little targets at the very top, if you light them up, then your ball improves from a Pokeball to a Great Ball, to an Ultra Ball, to a Master Ball. And then over time it degrades. Oh, come on. Bad timing. Oh, yes, okay. So close. No, I don't need it up there now. There we go. Just a little bit of time remaining. So this is a really cool thing. I like video pinball games, but especially when they don't strive for realistic simulation of pinball tables. Okay, so by catching it, we've earned a go in the slot machine. So as long as I can get it in there, in that hole. Oh, is there an egg system in this game? That's interesting. Oh, horsey, very cute. Oh, I've lost my slot chance. Well, I'd rather have the slot than that hatch thing, because I'm sure that'll come up again. Let's just try and get it in here. Come on. I hope this is going to stick around. I think the hatching thing de-triggered it. Ugh. Yeah, I never had rewind back when I played it on my Game Boy Color, but now I do. Which should help me achieve my aims of seeing more content better. Oh, come on. Yes. Great. Oh, actually, come to think of it. What's in here? Bonus multiplier. I could also get a small bonus, ball saver. I could get a Pichu, which would be probably the ideal thing at this point, because that lasts the entire run of your ball, as long as it's there. So I'm just going to cheat to get that. Oh wait, coins, that's a new mechanic. I don't know how to get those exactly, but we can spend those in the mart, I believe. I did a brief read of Bulbapedia before starting today. Yeah, so Pikachu will help to save your ball if it falls down the side. Oh, what's this? Oh. Oh no, my wife is yelling at my cat. She's being naughty. Huh. Apparently I can control Makuhita over there. Great. What can we buy? Ball upgrade, timer. Ah, the Pika, that's a good thing to save up for. Bonus challenge. Okay, cool. So I can buy those in the mart. But we don't have enough money. Can I leave? Okay, I'll come back with more money. Since my goal is to get bonuses. She just did the I'm not angry with you, I'm disappointed at the cat. Oh, no egg. How do I make egg? Ooh. Okay, that makes sense. Aerodactyl dropped the egg. And then Cyndaquil warms it up like a little incubator. Very cute. Yeah. So we have Linoons over there. I was gonna say some of the functions from the original game have been given to little Pokemon characters, but I think for the most part that was already the case. I still don't have any more money. Yeah, it's always easier to get some loops than others, isn't it? But how do I activate a catch exactly? I got it in the Sharpedo plenty of times, but I need to do something. The mart is lighted up. Does that mean it wants me to go to the mart? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So going on the outside loop is what activates the thing. So when you have 2 or 3 of the get arrows lit up, that's when you can activate a catch by going to Sharpedo. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Yes. Oh. Okay, no, we haven't got enough whatevers for that. Yeah, there's an evolution mechanic as well, which hopefully I can show off at some point. Oh, monies. So Chikorita does a Razor Leaf, which opens the Linoons, which then do something. Yeah, whatever. I won't cheese those too much, I guess. It doesn't make for good viewing, I think. That's the loop I want. So you can see the little Pokeball icons underneath the map icon. When you fill those 3, that's when the bonus round is activated. And you fill them by catching Pokemon. I also got one by hatching and then catching that. Evolution fills 2 of them at a time. So sometimes it can feel like you've wasted one if you're on 2 and then you do an Evo. This is really cool. I like this little hatching mechanic where they wander the field freely. It reminds me of Metroid Prime Pinball, where occasionally enemies would start wandering around and you'd bump into them, Metroids especially. Very cool stuff. Oops. That's very cute. And yes, Ikue Otani is credited in this game's credits. That's the voice of Pikachu. Oh, hello! Tonya and Gibbon are both here. Tonya saying, oh my god, I wanted to make this a game club pick. Well, you still can. I'm just going to be playing casually a little bit today, but if it was a game club pick, I would maybe try a bit harder to achieve actual goals in the game. Best game. Oh, okay. Just to catch up on chat before we do this bonus round. Tonya says that she thinks that Sonic Pinball Party is more polished, but it's still lovely. And then crying that there's no Gen 5 Pokemon Pinball. And Gibbons here. Very good to see you. He is in his weekly Monster Hunter session, but he's got me on in the background. Coolio. That's nice. Thank you for that. What the... Okay, so Kecleon has become invisible. Ah, there you go. I got your number, matey. Ooh, the reflection. Very nice. Ooh, I've got a vision thingy. Devon Scope, I think I read on Bulbapedia, because I don't remember from the game exactly. The equivalent of the Sylph Scope, I expect, which I remember a little bit better because I've recently played Pokemon Let's Go. Omega Ruby I played when it was new, which is several years ago at this point. What? Seriously. Oh, I knocked it over, so now I can hit it when it's knocked over, right? It should be there right above the pond. Oh, it's got up again. Clever. How many times do I need to hit it? Oh, did I run out of time? It gave up. I win. Massive point score and a knocked out Kecleon. Very nice. Oh, I have 2 Swallots over there. I wonder what they do. Pfft. That didn't happen. Did you see that? Nobody saw that. So I still don't know what the Lanoon do. Oh. Ah. Okay, they do the same thing. I think in the original game they were just little bumpers on the side. But if you hit them enough times in a row, and I guess it's 3, and then you pile up the Swallots, which in the original was like Diglets, or depends on the field, of course. But yeah, now we have a travel chance. So by lighting up 3, or lining up 3 Swallots, or Makuhita. I don't know what Makuhita would do on the right, but all I need to do is hit the outside loop, and I will move location. There we go. So now we're on a little slot. Oh, okay. Volbeat / Illumise, I don't remember which one, has taken me to Mount Ash Place, whatever it's called. Mount Pyre, maybe? Tonya says, in the Pokemon source code stuff, oh yeah, red and blue source code has recently been hacked or whatever, right? There's been talk about how originally Team Rocket owned the company and they created Pokeballs too, and it was a big conspiracy. Oh, that actually sounds more interesting than what the final game was. The leaks have really been interesting, I'll say that. Sounds pretty fascinating. Oh, it's a coughing. I'm always disappointed in a new Pokemon game when they bring back old species. I know it's to be expected, but yeah, when you're like, oh, I have the chance to catch something here, and it's like, oh, it's something I've seen 20 times before. That's great. I guess I'll catch it. Yeah, coughing. Even the regional variants they're doing now, I struggle to care. Oh, our Chimchar have changed to Lotads. Oh wow, that's a really detailed looking coughing. Look at the shading on that thing. I do appreciate the graphical upgrade from the Game Boy Color. And the smoothly scrolling screen. That's a really cool feature that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I am enjoying it. Oh, I wonder if I can make Makuhita hit the ball. If it's going past. Of course, that would require, yeah, some consistent ball aiming, which I'm not that great at. Oh, only 1 coin that time. What determines that? Oh, I see. First one's 1, and then you get 5, and then 10. And as far as I can tell, the only other way to get coins is... yeah! Is to get one of the special slot entrances. So I do want to try for the Pikachu this time, because yeah, great, first try. Not only is it very cute, but it helps save your ball much easier. Normally it was, well, I mean originally I should say, there were like not even 2 Pikachu. It was the one Pikachu that rapidly flashed between the 2 sides so that it was covering both at once. But having Pichu as well as Pikachu is a nice little touch and very cute. It denotes that it's a bonus feature, you know, while also utilizing another Pokemon that exists for an in-game function. So yeah, I like that a lot. Now I'm really curious about that Nuzleaf up there, right? If I do this... oh, okay. So by knocking the... yeah, I'll rewind that. By knocking the Nuzleaf over, that let me easily get around that loop, because otherwise it'd be much harder to curve around instead of going to the mart. And it took me straight to that little pickup, which was a ball upgrade, an instant ball upgrade, rather than hitting the 3 icons up the top. Cute. I wonder if that's Ikawe Otani as well. There is one other voice credit in the credits. I don't remember the name of the actor now, but yeah. Should probably get the credits up. I didn't do a whole heap of note-taking for this because it was a little bit impromptu, a little bit bonus. It's supposed to be more casual, I feel. Big! Alright, since bonus is on here, I'm going to go for it. Nope. Not quite. Because that's my goal, is to see the bonuses. Now that I'm doing this with emulator features, this probably actually won't take that long, to be honest. Okay. Whoa. So there's only one bonus round per table, and then you get the legendary one. I feel like there were more different... Oh! That did not take long. Yeah, I feel like there were more different bonus games in the Game Boy Color version. And they were a lot of fun too. Really interesting. I particularly remember the Diglett one, where it was really difficult to get the ones in the corners, and the Meowth one, where you could rack up insane bonus points if you knock out a ton of coins out of it. And then... they give you multipliers if you hit multiple coins before hitting the Meowth. And obviously, it doesn't take long doubling and redoubling before you get to really very high scores. As told in the chessboard rice grain parable, where the guy is given a reward from a king or whatever and says, I want you to give me 1 grain of rice on 1 square of a chessboard, and then 2 on the next one, 4 on the next one, and so on. But when you raise 1 to the power of 64, it actually ends up being a heck of a lot of rice. At which point the problem is, how do you store it effectively? But that is not covered by the proverb. You know, Groudon looks a little bit like a Monster Hunter beast. Good luck with your hunt, Skibbin. I hope you kill lots of innocent creatures, which I think is the point of that game. If you're being reductive. But how innocent are they really? I've been playing Panzer Dragoon Order on the Xbox Zero. And they do actually address that a little bit, because you're going through the game kind of shooting wild animals sometimes that are kind of, well, they're mutated beasts, you know. But at one point the game does address, like, is it okay to kill these even if they're shooting at you? But hey, if you want the good scores, you're gonna do it. Really good game, actually. I'm very impressed with it so far. I'm only playing it so that I can unlock the original Panzer Dragoon, which was a bonus inside Orta, because that's Gibbon's Game Club pick for this month, is the original Panzer Dragoon. Yeah, looks like I didn't complete this one. That's alright. At least I saw it, I got an idea of what it's like. I'm more interested in the Sapphire Field one with Kyoga. Oops. But I'll talk more about Kyoga when we get to it, I suppose. What I really should do is read all the stuff that Tonya's putting in the chat. They say they've been using 4chan's Pokemon board as a source to see what's going on, which, yeah, it is 4chan, but it's a good source for the stuff that's easy to read. For the longest time, Pokemon had the issue of the same Pokemon in the oceans, caves, etc. It's gotten better since then, but yeah, some regional variants are better than others. I like the regional evolutions better, I'll say that, they say. Like, it's cool to see a Mr. Mime evolution. Gigantamax forms I'm mixed on. Love the idea and most of the designs, but all the previous Gen 1s are just Gen 1. Besides for Garbodor, which, hey, love that guy though. Gen 3 had great legendary lore. My next favorite is Gen 8s. I've just never been big on the legendaries, but Gen 3 is great. Yeah, sorry I missed all that. I guess I'm too focused on the table right now, but yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, Tonya. To address them, let me see. Starting with, yeah, that for a long time there was the issue of the same Pokemon appearing everywhere. I'm thinking maybe like Zubats in every cave in every new game. Kind of tedious until Gen 5, where they just... So one of my problems with Gen 5 is they're like, hey, all new Pokemon, right? None of the old ones, which on the surface seems like a fine idea. But then a lot of the new designs I feel are just XPs or just a redo of an old design. By the way, when you have the double Pika, you don't need to roll up the outside loop to charge them up anymore. They have infinite charge. So for example, in Gen 5, there's no more Zubats, right? But instead there's Woobats. So now instead of having Zubats in every cage, in every cave, there's Woobats in every cave. And sure, they have a different type, but it's a pretty basic bat style Pokemon. So I don't know, I just don't find it that interesting. Oh. I activated Evo? When did that happen? Well, I get to choose. Tonya, got an opinion? Cascoon or Spheal? I'm not going to even consider coughing because, like I said, I'm sick of Gen 1. We haven't filled anything out in our Pokedex so far. Now, I believe Cascoon evolved into Dusclops. It's like a moth. Or we can get Walrein, a walrus. You know what? I'm going to go for Walrein. So, in evolution mode, small Evo tokens appear throughout the board, depending on what Pokemon you're using. So say you've got a Staryu and it's evolving to a Starmie, little water stones will appear. In this case, it's an EXP evolution, so little EX tokens appear. And if you roll over and pick those up, then you get enough to activate the Evo. Aha! Perfect. So now that we've done that, we go in that slot and... Oh, come on. Ooh, monies. Oh, wow. Okay. It's pretty exciting. Oh, right. I forgot there was a middle stage to this. So we have Celio, the second stage evolution. And if we do it again, we'll get a Walrein. Tonya says, Seal! So yes, they voted for the Seal. That's great. Tonya says, yeah, I hate Gen 1. I wouldn't go that far, but I'm sick of Gen 1 nostalgia overriding everything new in Pokemon myself. They say that's why I didn't like the remake on Switch. Just kidding, Gen 1 is fine, but I just like Gen 5 and 3 better. And Inteleon too, of course. Well, naturally. Tonya is synonymous with Inteleon. That's what I know. Alright, we have tons of money now. So we could probably even afford buying a bonus game right out because we don't have to buy the Pika upgrade anymore. Great! An extra ball is useless to me because I have cheats. Emulator cheating. Oh wow, that's different. Is this a different kind of bonus? Yeah, Whiscash has appeared in the pond up there. Oops. I haven't used the sideways tilts, but I rarely do anyway. I'll only use the upwards tilt to save myself from that. That's really the only time I use tilt. Unless I'm unless I'm going around the outside loop and I want to... No, I don't want to catch. I want the bonus thingy. Oh, it's left already. Alright, I have to rewind a bit. Okay, so I've just come out of the mart. Hmm. No! Stop activating other modes. I have this bonus to do. Oh, it's gone. When did I save? Oh, it was back here. No, rewind, please. Okay, I'll save as I'm coming out of here. Okay, I better get that Whiscash, otherwise it's 60 Poke coins down the drain, isn't it? Oh boy. Hey, there we go. I don't know what that little number is for. Okay, cool. It is a different bonus. It's a Celio bonus. That's very fitting. Oh, okay. Oops, can't lose that quickly, can I? Oh, they bop it around. So it's Spheal Basketball. And we have to bop. Did I get points for that? I don't really know what the goal is here. I can get myself in or I can get a Spheal in, I guess. I do get a little cheer when it goes in. Antonia says, Sobble and Drizzile too, yes. Also good. They are all lovely lizards. Tonya says, pinball is frustrating. Well, I can't disagree. But it's also exhilarating and addictive. I do find myself incredibly frustrated if I can't hit the specific target that I need to do, that the game is telling me I need to do. That's the most frustrating part. Because I don't have the real skills. I've got some idea of how to make a pinball table work, but hello Midna. She's up on my desk again. You just better not chew anything, Missy. She's not technically allowed here, but it's too hard to kick her off while I'm streaming at the same time. Don't tell anyone. That's my water bottle. No, you can't lick it. Oh, stop licking it. No. Alright, get off. No. Behave. Oh. Thank you. Yes, so the frustration of pinball. Yeah, especially if it's in real life, you've paid real money, and your balls go straight down the crapper. Like, that can be pretty annoying. But I don't know. I think the reason I like video game pinball at all in the first place is... Okay, so Spheals are worth a lot more than the Pokeballs. Okay, makes sense. Is because I played so much Pokemon Pinball as a kid. Cool. Now that we've got that primary thing out of the way, and I just filled the holes. That'll probably activate after the travel, I expect. Okay, so now we should be able to go somewhere else. Any requests for location? Maybe that treetop town. Oh no, it just happens. It was kind of a slot mechanism in the original game, I think. Just like, well, at the start of the game, it was a slot to choose your starting location. Alright, what's in here? What's that one? Oh, okay. Okay, that'll get us to 3. Then I could take on the Groudon stage again. What's the time? Yeah, maybe I'll make this a shorter stream. I'll go for the Groudon again, and then I'll switch over to Sapphire course, or board, or whatever. Table? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, Lotad. Oh, I see what that is. It's a tentacle. Again, like I was saying, even in later games, there's still an abundance of Gen 1 trash mobs in the ocean. And don't you know it, there's a lot of ocean in Gen 3. Sigh. I really am sick of Kanto nostalgia. And yet nobody at the Pokemon Company International is listening to my complaints. How rude. Do you only need 3 targets to unlock a Pokemon? Tonya says, I'm going to say it here, I like Froakie, but I hate X and Y. Is it possible to catch every Pokemon in this game? That's a good question. I feel like the original Pokemon Pinball had a full 251. Or was it 151? Gosh, was it just Gen 1? Hang on. Why does my brain not remember this? Yeah, it must have been just Gen 1. I think it was a 150 Pokedex in the original Pokemon Pinball, but I don't know about this one. But I suppose that would give it a lot of replay value. Yes, indeed. That's part of why, a small part of why I played so much of the original. Because it does take a bit to catch a Pokemon, as you can see. And then there's, you know, different chances of getting different ones. So filling it up is quite an endeavor that could take a while, especially with all the locations factored in. And some locations you can't go to straight away. You have to travel to them during a game. Oh, Midna, what are you doing? Yeah, so it can take a while to fill up your Pinball Pokedex. When I was playing Pokemon mini games for the Pokemon Mini console, in my very first stream, first recorded stream anyway, I played Pokemon Tetris, and it had a similar thing which impressed me. It had an in-game Pokedex, and you had to, I don't know, clear Tetris rounds or whatever. I forget exactly how you did it, but by getting a certain number of lines or something, you would catch the Pokemon that's there and then fill out your Pokedex, and it was a similar kind of system. And one of the few things that I read on Bulbapedia about this game is that to catch one of these legendaries, you do this bonus twice. You complete it twice, and that actually gets it into your Pokedex. Oh, now she's chewing a little hook that's attached to my desk. Okay. You know how teething kittens are. They don't use any of the things that you buy them. They will just bite everything else. Oh, I think we did it. Yeah, it's gonna retreat. Yeah, you enjoying that? Chomp, chomp, chomp. You know, at some point they're supposed to lose their baby teeth. No! No! I made that magnet myself. You can't eat it. Ugh. Okay. Tonya says, Tentacool and Pelipper, as in that's probably what the oceans are full of in Ruby and Sapphire. Also, even Masters, Pokemon Masters, the mobile game, is full of Gen 1 nonsense. They just added red to the game, even while revenue continues to drop, lol. I've only played Pokemon Mini on Pokemon Channel. Such an interesting device from the early Pokemon hype. Yeah, it's a really fascinating little thing, isn't it? Little, like, proto Game Boy. Not proto, but like underpowered, miniaturized Game Boy kind of thing. With only Pokemon specific games on it. It's really quite fascinating. But it's got some really cool little games on it, including Pokemon Tetris and Pokemon Pinball Mini, which is a bit more puzzly than specifically a pinball table kind of thing with score chasing. Oh great, Oddish, more Gen 1. But yeah, as you say, Pokemon Channel, which was a GameCube sort of life sim game almost, or raising game, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure what you do in Channel, but I know that you have like an in-game virtual house, and there's little things to interact with in there, little toys. And one of the toys is a Pokemon Mini, which then opens up basically a Pokemon Mini emulator on your GameCube. And you can play a selection of the games that were released for it, which is really cool. And like, it's the same thing as putting NES games in Animal Crossing. Before there were online distribution services. Oh, Oddish escapes back to the cave, so I guess I lost my chance to catch it. Yeah, before there were online console game stores, you know, some games had these unlockable bonuses in them. Oh, they still do. Yeah, they still do. Like I was saying before, Panzer Dragoon Order having Panzer Dragoon as an unlockable extra. Or things like Dracula X Chronicles on PSP has Symphony of the Night as an unlockable extra, which people say is possibly the best unlockable extra in all of video games. But yeah, in the case of the Pokemon Mini games that are in Pokemon Channel, there's one in Pokemon Channel that was never actually released on the console itself as an available product. They made a new Snorlax-based minigame for Pokemon Channel. Or maybe it was an existing game that was cancelled or something. I'm not sure about that. But I do know that there's one that's exclusive to Channel, basically. I think the community was able to extract it from Channel, and you can emulate it yourself using the Pokemon Mini emulator now, I believe. What's the time? Should we try out the Sapphire table? Yeah, so we've lost our ball. Pichu has left. Get our bonus. It adds up all the things that you did during that ball, and then it keeps adding them up. But you have your bonus multiplier, which you can keep boosting up through different methods in the game, and then it multiplies your total bonus, and you get a big, huge point score. And then Spoink comes back. Lovely Spoink. Tonya says, you watch TV and play with Pikachu. That's right, there was also a TV in your little room that you could watch different Pokemon themed things that they made for, I guess that was the origin of the title, you know, Pokemon Channel. Oh great, back of the forest, no thanks. Yeah, a field. I don't remember what the field is called either. But yeah, it's just quite different, isn't it? Got Shroomish up there. Plusle and Minden. And everyone's favourite Zigzagoon. Oh, we've got Catch already. Great. Whalmer's here. Oh, great. You know what that is? Yeah, it's Voltorb. Excellent. My favourite. A Gen 1 Pokemon. Looks like the mart here is a bit more high-tech. Yeah, cool. So, I was saying before I didn't do a whole lot of research, but I had a quick look around on Moby Games at the credits of this game, and there's one thing I wanted to point out. One of the 3 programmers credited, Noriaki Tadamoto, also was the main programmer for the mini-games that were included in Game Boy Camera, which I played through in the Sky Skipper stream, I believe. So that's fun. Also one of the programmers on Mario Paint, so I guess his specialty was strange minigame collections. But yeah, most of the people who worked on this were at Jupiter for a while. A lot of them worked on Spectrobes, which was Jupiter's sort of RPG in-house kind of franchise. Had a couple of entries. I never really looked into it myself. Got a C dot over there. Wonder what that's going to do. Travel, I bet. But I didn't really figure out what Makuhita or Zigzagoon do. I think I like this board better. It's a little bit more open. There were all those ramps that made the top section feel restrictive on Ruby, whereas this one has a bit more space up there. I like that, even though the whole idea is the only way you influence the ball, you know, is from your flippers, and so you're always looking at trajectories going in different angles from the origin point of the flippers at the bottom of the screen. So, you know, it's still limited. But I don't know, I think it feels a little better to have a bit more open space at the top. Tonya says, oh right, and also the Safari Zone was going to be ran by Team Rocket as well in the, I guess in the prototype for Red and Blue they're talking about. Oh, I think that number is my bonus multiplier, and by hitting certain targets you can increase it. So I wonder if that's what Palippa does, but there's a P on Palippa. Not sure what that means. Oh great, another catch. Cool. Let's see, who am I really hoping for? Who's my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon? When I think about that, I usually oscillate between, I think Tropius is Gen 3. Sometimes I forget if it's Gen 4, because I never really had one in any time that I've played a Gen 3 game myself, but I really like the design of and idea of Tropius. I think it's really silly and fun. So that's one of my faves, but one I've actually used several times in the games is Breloom, which is the evolution of Shroomish. It turns into a kangaroo with a mushroom on its head, and I think that's really fun. And also it's part of a little subclass of Pokemon that are based on Australian animals that I sometimes like to make speculative teams out of. So there's a koala in Gen 7, although that one, Kamala, it's actually a little bit boring to me because its design is essentially just basic koala with no changes, but it's slightly sleepy and holding a log. So that's kind of a, I don't know, it's a little bit of a boring twist on an animal. I prefer the mushroom kangaroo, you know. Kangaskhan in the first gen is also pretty good for a kangaroo because it doesn't actually look like a real kangaroo. It looks like a bloody massive weird kaiju mutant form of kangaroo, which is interesting in a way. So really there's 2 kangaroos in Pokemon, which is nice. 3 if you count Cubone being the baby. And then Marowak, I don't know, I guess it's a wallaby or something. Yeah, Pika. That's great. That's really helpful. Tonya's opinion on the best Gen 3 Mon is Milotic, which I believe is the evolution of Feebas. Feebas was like the new Magikarp. This is another one that I sometimes don't remember if it's 3 or 4. They blur together for me a little bit. Because I never had the full Gen 3 experience that I then continued playing. It was cut short. I haven't completely internalized the distinctions between 3 and 4 sometimes. But yeah, Milotic, Phoebus was like an incredibly rare and ugly and useless Pokemon, but unlike Magikarp, which was ugly, useless, and incredibly common, but then Milotic would evolve from it and be very, I don't know, well, it's supposed to be beautiful. The original way to evolve Phoebus was to upgrade its beauty stat for the Pokemon contests, a Gen 3 exclusive mechanic that had a whole new set of stats that did nothing in battle or any other form of the game except for the minigame of the contests. You know, one of the long line of Pokemon mechanics that are like that. But yeah, if you beautify your Phoebus and then get it high enough, then Milotic results, and presumably is a lot more useful in battle, and I guess contests as well. But yeah, it's sort of a different take on Gyarados, which was my criticism of some Gen 5 Pokemon as well, just being new takes on Gen 1 stuff. So in that sense, I'm a bit meh on Milotic, but it's at least a flip on the kind of Gyarados thing. It's quite different take on it. as opposed to some Gen 5 ones being a quite similar take on a Gen 1 idea. Yeah, Tonya says, I love that it evolves from Phoebus. It is a good concept, isn't it, of something that is considered ugly then becoming something that's considered beautiful. I don't know, but maybe that's buying in too much to beauty perception, because I'm sure there are people who think that Phoebus itself is beautiful in its way, you know? Reminds me of a thing that a friend frequently said when Bowsette was such a big meme, like that they really liked the design of Bowser as an awkward, scary monster thing who is appealing in his own way, and by just turning him into a sexy lady and saying, oh, now he has value and is worthwhile, that's like problematic. Okay, so here we have Dusclops. Not to say that Milotic is a bad choice of favorite, Tonya. Just some of my thoughts on the issue. And I think every Pokemon is somebody's favorite, and that's fine, and that's valid, and their reasons for liking them are perfectly acceptable. Unless you really like... no, I won't say that. It's even though I was trying to be jokey about it, it would send the wrong message. Just know that there are some Pokemon I hate, and if you like them, good for you. What's happening? The screen is shaking. Oh, Dusknoir is going to come out. Oh, it ate my ball. So this is one of the Pokemon that actually got an evolution in a subsequent generation. Gen 4 added a new version of this guy. Although now I don't remember which one's Dusclops and which one's Dusknoir. And which one is the other name that I don't even remember. So I think you got to hit this thing from the side or behind. Yeah, behind, okay. Because it keeps portaling my ball out. Oh, what? But surely that was coming from behind. Not enough? No more time. I didn't happen to save a state, did I? Oops, that's a bad time. To load. Alright, never mind. We'll just try again. I do want to get to the Kyogo bonus at some point. That has become more of a Pokemon that I like in Gen 3, subsequent to playing the games. Because I always was disappointed that there's no dolphin Pokemon until someone pointed out that Kyogo is sort of based on an orca, which is a kind of dolphin. So essentially there is a dolphin Pokemon, it just is gigantic and looks like a whale. Of course we already have the whale Pokemon, Wailmer and Wailord. There we go, I pulled off that tilt to hit it up the top and get in there. That's what I was trying to do. It's always good when you do something in pinball and it's something that you actually intended to do. That feels good. So what was I saying? Yeah. So dolphins. I joined an Echo the Dolphin Discord. Caverns of Hope. Recommended. Good little community. And there's some fan artists on there who are into Pokemon. And they sort of identify with certain Pokemon species. Particularly some of them like Latios, but there's one guy in particular who is really into Lugia, and I like Lugia a lot too. Oh, so that's what Zigzagoon does. It can stop the slot machine straight away. Okay, that's interesting. Let's get that Evo, why not? I caught little Mantike there or whatever. No, not Mantike. That's the Manta Ray. What's this one? Little green guy? What's green guy? I don't remember. Oh well, I want to evolve it anyway. I think it's... I don't know. I don't like its big flat head. I think that looks weird. Yeah, but they like Lugia, and they also have identified Lantern as something that, while being a fish in essence, has some of the appeal of a dolphin type character in its design. So Lugia, Lantern, and Kyogo. And basically from this one guy's fan art, I've come to appreciate those Pokemon more, especially in the context of the dolphin love. Maybe I should plug his stuff. I don't know. I don't know his DeviantArt, but he goes by Big Jeff. Oops. Yeah, I want to get that Evo real bad. Also, I don't know how to access the Mart in this. Oh, maybe the Mart activates an Evo. That happened in my last game, didn't it? Yeah, the loop made it available, but then to start it, you went into the Mart, and otherwise going to the Mart lets you buy things. Right. That's the idea. So we just want to get in the Mart and evolution. Yes. Tanya's helping me out. Thanks, Tanya. Saying that they think Duskmar is the Gen 4 one. Duskull, yeah, that's the original one. That's Gen 3. And Tonya says, I forgot that was Gen 3. Yeah, that's the best. And also, they hate Bowsette as well, so they're on my side. Or they're on Courtney's side as well. I don't care for Bowsette either. What about when Cackletta became Bowletta? Yes. I think that handled it better, personally. So this is in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Yeah, but there was... yeah, there's a reason for that. And... I don't know. Yeah, that's a different kind of thing. Also, every Kong is someone's favorite. Indeed, even Kitty. Poor, neglected Kitty Kong. Guess who I identify with, says Tanya. Well, I don't have to guess too hard. Inteleon. I think Tanya's frustrated by my inability to get to that one target. This is so... pinball. Also, they say, I have a feeling I might know that Lugia guy. Oops. I do not want to pick Voltorb. That's real boring. Poochyena cute. Gulpin. Electrike. That's who I was thinking of. Let's see. Gulpin goes to Swalot, which I misidentified Gulpin earlier as Swalot. My bad. Poochyena goes to Mightyena. Those are both, I don't know, not that interesting. Swalot is weird and sort of purple and Argyle pattern, but I don't even remember what Electrike's evolution looks like, so let's pick that. If you, Tonya, if you think you know this person, do you want to like quickly look them up and so I can mention it right now to try and confirm it? Because I do want to give credit to that guy. There's plenty of excellent fan artists on the Caverns of Hope Discord, by the way. All with their own style. Yeah, I don't want to start naming them because there's tons and they're all really excellent. But just search Echo the Dolphin on DeviantArt and you should find some cool ones. Excellent. Okay, let's see if we like this design. Because I don't remember what it looks like. Oh wow, yeah, that one. I do like Manectric. I do like that one. Okay. Oh, and Lapras, that's the other one, of course. Yeah. Lapras is the other one that Big Jeff likes to draw. Big Jeff is the name of the orca, like, persona of this person, so that's why I was sort of naming them. But their DeviantArt is Sabre471, Sabre 471. So there's some pretty cool fan art on there. Of course, Lapras. How did I forget Lapras? Okay, here's our chance. We can actually try the Dusclops one again. So hopefully we'll get a bit further this time. And then we can get to Kyogre mode. And by finishing Kyogre mode, I think probably you have to do it twice. Then you unlock the Rayquaza bonus stage. Really, the most reading I did on Bulbapedia was about the bonus stages and how to get them. Since that was kind of my goal today. Tonya says, oh, that's a different guy. But still, thanks for the info. Yeah. He's a fun guy. Still a minute left. That's a pretty good position to be in for this, I think. Ugh, come on. Get around there. Okay, cool. Nope. Curses. I don't understand the logic of when you hit this guy and when you don't. The position of the hands, maybe? Okay, so the hands are out and ready now, so don't hit. And now they're down while it's moving. Yep, that's it. Just watch the hands. Yep, okay. Cool, that was easy. So there's Dusclops stage down. Dusclops, Dusk Noir. That's how it goes. I'm more of a mischievous guy myself. Mischievous. Ooh, is that a... no. And we can't afford a bonus either, so we'll just have to keep working towards it. I could go for the 30 coin bonus right now, but I'd rather just keep playing the game. Yeah. So that counted as an Evo point. Oops. Tonya says, I think people's own interpretations of Pokemon help with making them more popular. I've had people tell me, oh, I don't really like Inteleon, but you make me appreciate them. And I think it sort of is like Inteleon from Game Freak is a different character from my Inteleon self. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think you've made me appreciate Inteleon more as well. I wasn't really into any of the Gen 8 starters myself. Now see this is wow, that's crazy. This is the maximum ball upgrade, the Master Ball. I forget what the multipliers are. I think it told you in original Pokemon Pinball, but I think yeah, it might be ×5 for all board-based point scoring. Oh great, it's another Gen 1 Pokemon. Not many Gen 2 Pokemon are there, just Pichu. Anyway, yeah, but once you get to the Master Ball... Oh! Cool. That's fun. Yeah, once you get to Master Ball, then each extra level of upgrading after that just gives you a big point score, which is actually not a bad way to get points. The best way, of course, is to go for more bonus stages and then actually complete them. You could get a lot in the Mewtwo stage in the original. Yeah, I always say that my favorite Pokemon is Corsola, which is a Gen 2 little cutie. It's made of coral. But yeah, I should really do something with it, you know? Make some fan art or something. People always have their OCs and they like trade OC art and stuff like that. And it makes me jealous. I wish I had an OC, but I don't know how to make an OC. I was considering making one for... There was sort of a Jet Set Radio fan project where people would design their own characters that would fit in that world. I thought I might do that, but instead what I did was found characters from other games that would fit in Jet Set Radio, like Yuri from Slap Happy Rhythm Busters, which I made my friend Dazuka draw in his in their 6 fan arts thing. Yeah, that's another stream I'm going to do at some point, because I discovered a few fighting games that had skater type characters, and I was like, let's show them all off. That'll be cool. Alright. Oh, nope. The bonus is going to come up here and I want it. Okay, so it is based on when you press the button. Almost. Okay, if I save state there, I can just try hitting it at different points. I just really want to fast track this Kyoga bonus right now. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. This shouldn't take too long. Excellent. It only took a lot of cheating. Oh, that's nice. Very ominous. Hello, Kyoga. With Master Ball, this should be a cinch. This should be a doddle, in fact. Come on, don't you whirl me around. Whoa! Ugh, not another one. Okay, it's gonna pop up. Ah, bad timing. Oh, okay. Ah, bad hit. No! You froze me. Don't freeze me, bro. Oh, that's rough. Let's start again, shall we? Tonya's saying, my friend and I made up a little fanon with his Cinderace and my Inteleon. He is Galar's champion and has always been friends with me. Just little stuff, it's a lot of fun. I love their markings, always so cool. And this one seems harder than Groudon, says Tonya. And yeah, I think it might be so far. Or at least more like lost time as you wait for them underwater. Ah, almost. This doesn't seem to be going well. Oh, there we go. 3 hits. 4. 5. Around the outside? Nope. Ah, not enough speed to get all the way around. That's alright. I don't know if mashing helps, but it might as well. I could tilt as well. Might help. Okay, go. Yes! Ah! Oops. Okay. Gotta finish this off. think if I had another goal today, it would be to catch Kyogre. Of course, that would also open the way for a Rayquaza bonus. So once you beat this one, that... Yep! Oh, wow. Lots of time left on the timer. Wonderful. So I've done that once. That means we need to do Dusclops again, and then Kyogre again. And then Rayquaza will be available. So another Evo would be nice right now. Oh, that feels good. Alright, who do we want to evolve? Poochyena or Gulpin? I like Gulpin. Little Blobbo. Very cute with its dumb little mouth. Yeah. Come on. This is painful. Ah! It's causing me physical anguish. Oh boy. How long? How long? Blech. What's your favorite Eevee evolution, Tanya? I've come to really appreciate the Gen 4 ones. There we go, finally. Oops. Where's the next one? Originally, I really liked Espeon, but when my brothers and I got Gold and Silver, one of them claimed Espeon, and then I was like, oh, now I feel like I can't get an Espeon because he has one, so I'm going to get Umbreon instead. But then I didn't actually like Umbreon. It doesn't get many good moves in Gen 2, that's the problem. So it didn't feel very good to use, even though Dark type was pretty powerful in that generation. Alright, I'm just going to load back to when it was a minute ago. I don't want to fail an evolution, that would be very disappointing. I want my Swalot. Yeah, but then later on I've had a Leafeon and a Glaceon in my team in subsequent games, and at this point Glaceon is my favorite. I really love the way it looks. And it gets some cool moves too. Leafeon got cool attacks too. X-Blade. Grass type physical attack. But Glaceon looks very elegant and I enjoy it. Oh. My spouse is super into Sylveon, but it's not exactly my favorite. I think its design is a little OTT, if you know what I mean. Tony says, woo, you beat the game. Not quite. Haven't got to the Rayquaza bonus, which requires another round of bonus runs, so it might be a while. Oh yeah, I've got this guy. Let's see, what do we want? What does that one do? I don't need any of these. Anyone is fine. I guess coins is probably the most useful because then I can work towards getting something else in the mart that I need. That level of choice is nice. All you got to do is get into the mart and then you will actually get to pick something that you want if you have the coins for it. So that's a good mechanic that they added here. What happened? My stream froze. Hold on. Well, just to cover Tanya's chat, I like Gen 4, but not the games. Team Galactic is kind of dumb. But I like a lot of the Pokemon, they say. Yeah, I did the evolution at the last second. It was pretty awesome. And then they say that they don't like Lucario. That's one that they will never care for. Oh, that's a shame. I think that, yes, Lucario is sort of overplayed by the Pokemon media and the hype, the merchandise, etc. Sorry, I'm gonna have to restart my own stream running here. Yeah, it dropped out during the Kyoga bonus room. Yeah, Lucario, but I do like Lucario because of White 2. I got through White 2's story, but then I stopped during the post game because oh, I thought I had an Evo lined up here. Oh, there's a Pelipper bonus. Oh no, that's probably going to take me to the same. Yeah, I think that takes me to the same Spheal bonus. It's just that you get there by going through Pelipper. Didn't I get a Pelipper during this game? Where did it take me? I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, in White 2, I caught a Riolu early on in an early route, which is kind of what they intend you to do, sort of, almost, because it's available so early on. And then I raised that up to a Lucario, and it was pretty strong, which was good because I had a scarcity of strong Pokemon in that particular Gen 5 run. The way the EXP share mechanics worked before they sort of made stuff easier in Gen 6, my team always felt underleveled and had a lot of weaknesses. I had a Drillbur and Excadrill, as well as I picked up an Abomasnow because I liked the typing, but then it turns out the typing has a ton of weaknesses. So things didn't go super well for me. And I found that I was always lagging behind and felt like I needed to grind, which is not a good feeling at all to have in an RPG, to be honest. But hey, what do you know, it's another Gen 1 Pokemon. We're running out of actual Gen 3 ones to evolve here, aren't we? But yes, let's do this. What's the time? Is it boring for me to just do another round of bonuses to get to Rayquaza? I'm considering packing it in right now, to be honest. What do you think, Tonya? Would you stick around? Do you want to do more Pokemon chat with me? Let me see. Ash got a Riolu in the anime, ugh. I admit EXP share makes the game a lot more fun, agreed. Although it can almost go too far in the opposite direction and become too easy. So therefore in my Sun and Moon playthrough, I had 2 teams on rotation, and that kept any Pokemon from getting too overleveled and thus making the game too easy. It was really the only way that made the game more fun for me. Plus I got to effectively choose twice the amount of Pokemon to take with me, you know, because then I'd swap them out all the time. And when I played Let's Go in co-op, we just constantly shifted out new things in our team because leveling in that game it's just free. They just hand you experience like by the bucketful all the time, and it's never a problem. Plus, even if you're underleveled, you can chug candies and get your stats up that way. So it's really like a silly playground more than a proper RPG. Proper in quotation marks, because I'm not going to be like elitist about what is and isn't real gaming or whatever. Okay, come on. Hands down, buddy. Yeah, there we go. Of course, by having your team so freely changeable in Let's Go, it kind of meant you got less attached to individual Pokemon, perhaps. We had some that stuck around for a while, but if I felt like they were getting too strong and I wanted to swap them out just so we weren't steamrolling everything instantly, which we already were, even if I was swapping things out constantly. Because in 2-player, you get 2 turns every time your opponent gets 1 turn. Yeah. What was I saying? That was a run-on sentence. Very run-on. So, because we were swapping them out a lot, then I was getting less attached to individual ones, sort of. To help to combat that, I insisted that we nickname every Pokemon that we caught. Oh, no. Only every Pokemon that we put in our team. Which I often like to do anyway. Alright, who's left? Just Poochie, I guess. You know, when Poochie's not on the screen, people should be asking, where's Poochie? Oh no, we gotta get that ramp now. That's gonna be tough. That's a very specific shot. That needs to be done from the left. Go. Nope. Go. Nope. Go. Yeah, let's just facilitate this. I don't want to be here all day. You don't want to be here all day. Yeah, baby. Tanya's saying, in response to whether I should continue, well, I love the stream. Well, thanks for saying so. Most kind. And I feel that on my comments on the game balance and such. Sword and Shield gives you a stupid amount of EXP for the raid battles, which were easy as heck. Interesting. Yes, I'm a cheater, and I do not care. I have no shame. Hey, look at this. We're getting the bonus round straight up, as long as I can catch... I don't know what that is. Oh, Swallow. Great. Sure. It was in a weird pose, so I couldn't make it out. Every generation has its Pidgey and its Rattata. So every generation is guilty of Gen 5 XP cloning of early root stuff. It's a shame. I do actually like the idea of a Nuzlocke as a way of getting you... Oh, Tailo. Swallow is the evolution, I forget. Fine. Yeah, Nuzlocks are a way of getting you invested in Pokemon that you otherwise would pass over. Gen 8 has a great Pidgey clone, says Tanya. What is that one? Is that the one that turns into Corviknight? The Raven with the armor? Is that the one? Yeah. And recent generations have had fewer overall new Pokemon. So then when they have slots used on these type of clone things, I think that's a little bit of a shame. Because then you end up with just, I don't know. I had mixed feelings about Gen 8 when I looked at the spoilers for all the new Pokemon. And I was like, I don't actually like any of these. But that's just a personal thing. Nice. 2 hits. I'm gonna catch me in this Kyogre. I'm gonna do it. Milo, how do you feel about HMs? I really hate them, says Tonya. I say, I do not like them, and I'm glad that they're not a thing anymore in Pokemon games. The idea of a HM slave, I have a little bit of nostalgia for it now that it's gone, but yeah, it wasn't good. It's better not to worry about that. Although the way Sun and Moon did it was a little bit odd when you had Pokemon that you could call on to do specific tasks for you, but they weren't like yours and they weren't in your team. It was a little bit, you know, just strange, just as a concept in the world. But the way Let's Go handle it is probably even weirder, because then you have an Eevee who learns not strength, but like move rock ability that is just something it can do, and ride on water ability. It was really kind of ham-fisted because they didn't change anything about the design of the game, but then they added this like overpowered mascot character that was yours, that was your partner. And then it has all these weird abilities for no reason. So it's odd. Plus, it was incredibly overpowered in the first place, had access to really stupid moves of every type. I know this was more a thing for Eevee. Pikachu had some, but Eevee had a lot more different moves that it was just given. And also it had really good stats and couldn't evolve. I don't know, it was a really weird choice. Okay, so I failed the Kyogre thing, so I'm just going to load back to the start again and try it again. Alright, let me see. Tonia's saying a lot of stuff here. Especially... Whoops. Sorry. Especially since every Pokemon isn't in them anymore. Oh no, I don't know what that was in reference to. Eternatus is a great legendary in my opinion. I love how scary it looks. It's a space alien. Well, okay, spoilers here for Sword and Shield, by the way. But it's a space alien that destroys the environment. Good, a metaphor. A metaphor for pollution. I do genuinely like it, haha. Just, I wish Pokemon would put more effort into the story. Yes, plus, thumbs up. I admit though, HMs would be better if the moves were better. Surf is a good one, I suppose. Yeah, Surf was generally one I'd liked to put on a water type. Good accuracy, good power. But a lot of the other ones weren't that useful as moves. Pop. Now there's a good technique that sometimes works in pinball games of how to swap from one flipper to the other. If you're balancing it on one flipper, then you sort of hold it back like this, and then you pop it like that. But you might have to wait a little bit, and then it goes over to the other one. I don't know. I never really mastered it, to be honest. I played a little iOS pinball-ish game called, I think it's called Inks, where the objective was to hit certain targets and fill up the course with paint, which was coming off of your ball. And it's really stylish and minimalist, and kind of using pinball mechanics in a pseudo-puzzly way, which is interesting and fun. So again, I'm not that hot on actual pinball simulations, but when they add in like fantastical elements like a lot of the video game ones do, that's fun to me. Yes, I reround. Quiet. And I really like the change of making TMs reusable. That's probably one of the best things to happen to the Pokemon games. And it's just unfortunate that that change happened after Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the best Pokemon games ever made. Even though Let's Go has Pokemon following behind you, which is the best feature of Gold and Silver, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it otherwise has a lot of interesting changes and mechanics and things that make it a different kind of experience, let's say. Oh, that's interesting. Tonya says Gen 8 just doesn't have puzzles anymore. I didn't actually realize that. I haven't played Gen 8. I've only watched a little bit of an online playthrough, you know. So, yeah, that's... You do have to sacrifice parts of the formula that don't work, or that sometimes you need to change, you know. It's good for the games to change things up and try new things. Yeah. Well, I failed again. Let's try again. But yeah, that's an interesting choice. I won't say it's a bad idea, but it's not necessarily a bad idea, I should say. But the common criticism I've heard of Sword and Shield is that the games feel empty, the areas feel empty, and there's not much to do in the game. You just sort of go from A to B, and then some plot happens and whatever. And it feels a little bit barren, so yeah, not having any puzzles probably contributes to that. That's 2 hits. That's pretty good. Oh, got a new person here. Your friend Andy says hi. Hello, my friend Andy. Good to see you. What are your thoughts on Pokemon? We're talking a lot about Pokemon today, for obvious reasons. This is Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. Oops. Yeah, and I'm cheating to make this a bit easier on myself, because otherwise it would be more boring. In the context of this streaming. I'm your friend Andy. I like Pokemon. Well, good to have you. What is your favorite Pokemon? Our friend Tonya here really likes Inteleon, and that's their favorite right now. I say right now, of course it'll be Inteleon forever, until whatever the next thing comes along. Just kidding. I'm not implying that Tonya's fickle. I'm just saying Gen 9 could have an absolutely amazing Pokemon that blows everyone's socks off. You never know. Yeah, I like to keep an open mind. Each new generation could have an amazing Pokemon that's really cool. It's just coincidence that my favorite is the Gen 2 Pokemon. I promise. Coincidence. My other 2 favorites are Gen 3. But that's also sort of within my generation, so I can't get away with acting like I'm so objective. It's impossible. Sorry, I realize there's chat going on, but I do need to focus here if I want to catch this Kyogre and unlock Rayquaza mode. I'll get to it in a second. Come on. Actually, Mew is one of my favorites too, but it's really rare to actually get one and have it participate in your experience, you know? There we go. So this is the second time I've completed the Kyogre bonus round, and that means I get to catch it. So next time I do a bonus, it should be a Rayquaza bonus. But for now, got some more normal gameplay to do, so that'll be fun. Good time to catch up on chat, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Fly is sort of in the game as a taxi service, just as it was in Sun and Moon, and they experimented with it in Oras, didn't they, with the Latias things. Lati-X. Surf is still there. In this one, your bike can float on water. Okay, that's weird. The best is black and white games. I will fight for that. It has a good story. The best thing. That's fair. Yeah. I only played White 2, but the story was decent there. Johto's story is just, oh, Team Rocket takes over a radio station and then they say bye. Teasing. I do like the Johto story. And I liked when the stories were low-key and not like the fate of the universe is in the balance. and how Johto follows up on Kanto quite well. That's interesting. What do you think about the escape rope being a key item now? Yeah, it was pointless having escape ropes be consumable because you'd just buy 10, and then if you use some, you buy more. Streamline it, simplify it. I think that's cool. And you only use it for 2 very minor caves that are easy. Well, there you go. There's Sword and Shield for you. Your friend, or my friend Andy, sorry, the screen name is your friend Andy, and their favorite Pokemon is Ambipom. That's not a bad choice. Funny little lemur creature with 2 hands on its tail. That's cute. Sword and Shield. I love Inteleon, I really do, and I love your world, lore, and aspects of your story, but oh well. Gen 6 was mediocre, but Gen 7 was good. If we have a second Switch Gen, it could work well. Andy apparently was counting, and it takes 17 hits to beat Kyogo. 17 hits! And Tonya encouraging me. Thanks very much, Tonya. We did it. Now all we need is just one more bonus shot, and we'll have our Kyogo. We'll have our Rayquaza chance. I don't know if you need to do that twice to catch it. I just want to see it, really. I don't need to beat it. And then I'll basically have seen all the, you know, quote-unquote content in the game. And then, yeah, it'll just be a matter of completely filling our Pokedex over the next 30 million hours of this stream, which is going to go on forever. Yeah. Like I was saying before, Andy, I played the original Pokemon Pinball on Game Boy Color a ton in my childhood with my big chunky headphones in. Sometimes listening to the game, sometimes to my dad's cassette tapes of old bands, or the Goon Show on tape. But even with all my playing, I definitely did not fill out the Pokedex. That's way more than my life's worth. There's never a bad choice. Andy likes Ambipom because Fake Out plus U-Turn is the ultimate troll job. Oh, okay. And they just knew that it took 17 shots. They didn't count. So we have a real expert in the chat here. Andy's joined in because they've noticed that I was playing the game, I guess, on Twitch. So thanks for joining. This is just a casual playthrough, so sorry if you expected high-level play, but yeah, just having a bit of fun today for my birthday. Asking me what is my best score in Pinball RS. This is the first time I've played RS. So my best score is whatever I got on the Ruby table before, but I have been using save states and rewinds just to play around in it. So I wouldn't call my score viable leaderboard material, if you see what I mean. Thank you, Andy. That's very kind of you. But yeah, Andy says they follow this game on Twitch. That's cool. You must see some pretty good players. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm just having some fun. But yeah, we're running out of... Oh, okay, cool. So we got a Spheal again. Bunch of Gen 1ers, of course, because why not? But I guess we'll go Tailo, even though its evolution is kind of boring and it's just a slightly larger bird that looks the same. Oh well. I already had Spheal in the last round, so I'm not going to evolve that again. Yeah. But I can tell you that my best score in the original Pokemon Pinball on real hardware was, I think it was 4 billion. And that was a very long game, that one. It took a while. That was with, I think, 2 Mewtwo bonus rounds. And a few Meowth ones as well. Much better for high scores. I think that's right. I could get it out and check. I could, actually. I wonder how hard that would be. Oh, wow. That looks really cool from this angle, actually. I'm not really that keen on Swellow normally, but that's a good angle on that sprite. Andy's saying... Oh, we're already there. Great. Hang on. Let me catch my breath. Ooh, Rayquaza's up. So Andy is saying, this was the first GBA game I ever owned. And Tonya says, in Sword and Shield's plot, there's too much of, oh, something big just happened. I'll go take care of it. Asking if Andy likes Inteleon, and Andy does not know what Inteleon is. So Andy not keeping up with the new things in the series. That's fine. That's perfectly valid. I haven't played Sword and Shield either, so I only sort of know some of the new Pokemon. But Inteleon is Tonya's favorite, and they're, as they say, a James Bond lizard. Yes, so we've got our Swallow, and now we're taking on Rayquaza in the skies on top of that dragon tower. I think the Emerald episode that they sort of tacked on to the end of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was pretty cool and memorable. And it was a nice addition, I think. And it involved Rayquaza heavily. And a new character. I don't remember what her deal was, but she was cool and edgy. Oh. You tornadoed my ball away. Oh, there it is. Rude. So, Andy, what is your best score on Pinball RS? I'd like to know from a real expert what's considered a good score. And have you completed your Pokedex? That takes some doing. Some doing. Indeed. Yeah, I had a Game Boy Advance, but for some reason I never picked this up, even though I liked the original so much. Maybe I just played the original to death and I was sick of it. I had a lot of cool games on GBA. All the Final Fantasy remakes, both of the Metroids. Worms World Party. No, that was not one of the classics, I must say. Get back here. Yeah, take that. Whoop. No, that's bad. I also had Yoshi's Universal Gravitation, which was really interesting. I did like it a lot, but it was a weird game. It used the tilt sensor, but not in a very sensitive way. There was really only 3 states, neutral, left, and right. But they came up with some weird ways of using it. There are a bunch of strange character designs in it, though. I always consider it more of a Yoshi Story spin-off than a Yoshi's Island sequel. Because of the visual style and how it had sort of unconventional, game goals. But yeah, it was strange and experimental and I liked it for that. There we go. Completed the bonus stage. We didn't catch the Rayquaza. I guess I gotta try again to do that. Does that mean we need to do 4 more bonuses and then another Rayquaza? Oh, look at that bonus. 99,999,999 times 1. If I had a Great Ball, Ultra Ball, or Master Ball, that would multiply that value, I believe, from my Bulbapedia reading. Okay, ooh, nice pixelated pause shot there. Let me see. Lots of chat here. Andy says, I was disappointed with Sun and Moon, so they won't be getting more money from me. That's too bad. Sun and Moon was actually one of my favorites. I enjoyed the story and the new mechanics and the Pokemon selection, the way they changed up the gym structure. I thought it was pretty cool, but that's fine. Everyone has their opinions. This one is pretty disappointing, kinda, but I'm addicted and love it. So I think Tonya's talking about Sword and Shield there. And yes, canonically, Rayquaza has met Diddy Kong, thanks to Smash Brothers Brawl's Subspace Emissary mode, which is an excellent mode that has never been in any subsequent game to any extent. Yeah, the cutscenes in that were amazing. I really love them. Andy's current game on the Sapphire table on Wii U Virtual Console is 89 billion with 600 plus Mons caught. Holy heck. You've certainly played this a lot more than I played Pokemon Pinball on the Game Boy Color then. I tip my hat to you, my friend. That is very, very impressive. Having said that, Wii U Virtual Console does have... Oh, no, Andy says right here, without using restore points, save states. So yeah, very impressive. Yeah, good job. Let me see. Tanya's saying... Yoshi's Universal Gravitation is poorly polished. I agree, but it's still pretty interesting. It was developed by what became R-Zest. Yes, they were known as R-Toon back then. And then they did Yoshi's Island DS, which has mixed reception, and Yoshi's New Island, which has quite negative reception. And I would agree with both those, although I like DS more than a lot of people do. Rayquaza needs to be hit 17 times as well. Thanks for the info. The last game that R-Zest worked on was Bowser's Inside Story, so oof, maybe they're done for too. And Andy actually completed the Pokedex on their GBA card back in the day, but not on Wii U Virtual Console yet. Wow, a true master in the chat. I'm honored to be graced by your presence. World of Light does not compare to Subspace Emissary. It has cute moments, but overall it's boring, says Tonya. Yes, from what I've seen, I agree. And Andy's not a fan of Switch Smash Brothers either, to be honest. I'm not either, and I've basically avoided it. I was kind of burned out pretty hard on Smash 4. So I've just kind of ignored Ultimate for the majority of the time, except for when a friend or my brother wants to play it with me, and then I do indulge them, and it's still a fun time playing with friends. Until the current pandemic crisis where we're forced to stay at home, I'm not seeing my brother anymore regularly, so we're trying to do more online gaming together, and therefore I've asked for new Smash Brothers as a birthday present, so then I can play it with him online more often. Unfortunately, we weren't able to play any online games on the Switch, even though we subscribed to the online service, because our ISP that we both subscribe to uses a particular IP address handling technology that does not allow peer-to-peer connections in online multiplayer games. But I gave their support line a call today and they've sorted it out, so we should be able to play multiplayer in the future. That's my story. Tonya says, people give Smash too much credit sometimes. Yes, a million times yes. A billion times yes. But I'm not salty, says Tonya, I just criticize. Andy's asking, Andy says, thanks for playing my guilty pleasure game. Well, nothing to be guilty about, my friend. This is a really fun game. And as far as I can tell, it's a really faithful and, excellent sequel to the original Pokemon Pinball, which is one of my favorite games. So I'm very happy to have played it today, and it has made me happy, which was the intention, so mission accomplished. And yeah, I'm really impressed with what Jupiter's done with it, cementing them even more as one of my favorite developers, because I also love all their Picross games as well. Asking, am I Australian? Yes, I am. That's right. New South Wales based. If you have any understanding of the subtleties of accents, which I don't, I actually can't tell different Australian accents apart, but yeah. Well, my parents are Victorian actually, so maybe there's some influence there, but I was raised in New South Wales. Yeah, Australia. Tonya's getting mad that it's a Geodude. Are you serious? Yeah. Apparently it's full of Gen 1 Pokemon, as every Pokemon game is. Except for Gen 5. It's really too bad that there weren't any more Pokemon Pinball games after this one. Because just think what it would have been like on the DS. You only need to look at Metroid Prime Pinball to see how well they work on the system. Okay, so we're back to the Dusclops bonus being the operative bonus, so we will have to go through, I guess, another Duskull, another Kyogre, and then a Duskull and a Kyogre, and then Rayquaza to catch Rayquaza. And I'm not going to do that today, so I'm going to finish up my stream right here. Andy asking, do I accept advice for this game? I'm going to be upfront with you. It's not my intention to play it regularly at all. This was just a bit of fun because I'd never played it before and I wanted to experience what it was like. If you've got advice for me, that I would happily accept it, especially from an expert like yourself. But I might not even play it much beyond today, even in my own time, because I've got so many other games to play, you know what I mean? Everyone has their own, ways of playing games, obviously, since clearly Andy likes to focus on one game and play it a lot, which is cool, which is great. Whereas I like playing a new game all the time and never playing any one for too long. Use the L and R buttons to shift the table more to help you control the ball. That is actually really good advice, and not something I often think of doing. I was saying before, the only time I really use tilt is if it's rolling down the outside track and I lift the flipper and bump to get it back on the field. And I've saved my ball many times using that method in the original, and I think I did it once in this one today. But yeah, that's actually good advice, because I was saying to Tonya before, it can be frustrating when you're trying to go for specific shots down certain lanes, but you can't make it and you just keep trying and trying, but it's really frustrating if it doesn't work. So efficient use of the tilts probably would be helpful if I could reliably know what's the right time to do them, which would come through practice. But it's not even something that I ever used much in the original. There are some pinball video games that punish you for tilting and lock your flippers, much like a real table will do, and I think that's very unfair. But this one, this one has it as part of the core mechanics, and that's nice. Okay, Andy's corrected me. Sorry for the misapprehension. I don't actually play this game that often. Fair enough. But you still seem to know a lot more about it than me, that's for sure. So that's fine. This one is not real pinball, lol. No, and that's why I like it, actually. You wouldn't get Pokemon wandering around the field in a real pinball, and I really like that. It does have some of the trappings of pinball, but it has layers of fantasy on top of that, and unrealistic things, but for the sake of entertainment, which is nice. So like these rails that were going up, that's a real pinball thing. But your other advice is good too, actually. If you're going for specific shots, he says, or Andy says, don't shoot blindly, cradle the ball and aim for a specific thing. So let's say I'm trying to go up to that rail there, so I cradle it and then, okay, I didn't get the rail, but I got Whalema. Yeah, so, and then tilting at that time, that's the only other time that I use tilts, is if it's rolling around the top and I use an up tilt to then pop it into that top zone where the Shroomish are. Okay, cool. Andy does use he pronouns. Good to know. I like to check. But it's also awkward to ask. Sonic Pinball Party. I did actually play Sonic Pinball Party on stream once. That's a really cool one too. It's similar to this in style, and a lot of fun. It's got the 3 different tables: Sonic, Monkey Ball, and Knights, I think. I think different people spell it different ways, regardless of their gender, so I didn't want to assume. But anyway, I think I'm done for the day. This has been really fun, and it was good having you two in the chat, keeping me company through it. So thanks very much for joining me. Yeah, hope you had a good time too, and I'll be playing something completely different next week, I'm sure. Haven't planned it yet. But yeah, this was my little birthday bonus because I have so many fond memories of the original Pokemon Pinball. And this one really lived up to being a good successor to that. It's very similar in a lot of ways, but expanding on it in fun ways and, of course, improving the graphics. And it still feels the same, which is a really good thing to nail if you're familiar with the original. Which is no surprise because Jupiter made both and they're experts in their field. I really am a fan of their work. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and we're gonna stop when this Dusclops comes on screen because I'm too scared of it. It is so spooky. Somebody Amigo, not Monkey Ball. You're correct. Thank you for the correction. Thanks for playing, says Andy. Will you ever play this again? To be honest, I will not. I play games once on my stream and then I play something else. I have a tremendous variety of different things that I play, although a lot of them are platformers. Except if I want to complete a game and I'll do it twice in a row. But yeah, I think I've covered everything I want to out of this game and seen all of what it can do, you know? So yeah, that's my answer. We're gonna let our time run out now and say goodbye. And I hope you have a nice time until I see you again. Game over. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, well, let's at least finish the ball, which requires losing our saver. How long does a saver last? There we go, blinky blinky. That's another thing in this game where a Pokemon was associated with that function, whereas in the original it was just there. Now they have Latios or Latias saving your ball. Wow, I actually did go for 2 hours. I thought this would be shorter, but it wasn't. Yes, there's our lovely bonus. So considering it took me over an hour to get to just under 1 billion, that makes Andy's score even more impressive. But anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.